there, my name is Amy Tranchida. I'm a ballroom dance instructor. One of the places that I teach is the OPC. I've been teaching Monday evening ballroom classes from 7 to 8 p.m. for about 3 years now. And of course, during the stay at home and stay safe order and all the social distancing that we've had to do, many businesses have been shut down and we've been at home. And while we're waiting for the all clear or the new parameters of how fitness classes and for our purposes, our ballroom class will resume, likely we'll still be required to social distance 6 feet apart, wear masks. Some students may elect to wear gloves for their personal comfort, but if you have been a ballroom dance couple and you're living together and you've been in quarantine together, you can still dance with each other in our classes. But for full details, you can look at my website, which is amy-tranchida, tranchida.squarespace.com. And if you go to the blog tab, you'll see on May 4th I posted a COVID-specific blog to address anybody's concerns and kind of show you how we can still meet for ballroom when we get that okay from the state and continue. In the meantime, many of us have looked to Zoom classes or other virtual learning platforms, and I wanted to reach out and say I miss you guys and I can't wait to see you back in the dance floor and the studios, and also to say in the meantime, if you want to practice, get back in the swing of things, or if you're new to ballroom or dance and you're considering joining our program, then I wanted to give you a little look into who I am, how I teach, and what you can do in 4 feet by 4 feet. I'm coming to you from my living room, and I've got this little space here, and many of us may feel you need a lot of room to practice dance. Not necessarily. Many of us don't have a ballroom size, living room. You can get creative. Roll up a rug, back a car out of the garage, push back some furniture. Ideally, if you have a smooth floor, that's easiest. But even if you're working with carpet, you might want to wear socks so you don't catch on the rubber. But let me bring you a few ideas for how we can dance at home. And I want to show you that many of the foundational patterns in several dances can be done in a small space. I'd like to start out talking about our balance though. Balance is created from the ground up, but let's talk a little bit about how we might do that. So right now I would ask you to step your feet hip width apart. So you have your hip bones and right down there. You should hopefully feel already supported by being underneath where your heaviest bone in the body is, our center of gravity. That's why dancers refer to this area of the body as our center, where fitness classes might call it your core muscles. We'll get to those. So if you would, just move a bit between your 2 feet and then wait till you feel equal on both feet, which we would call split weighted, about 50-50. That's a great place to start. Try not to lock your legs and hyperextend the back of your knees. Just keep your legs long, but not stiff. But now we need to work up here in the shoulders. For a lot of us, we don't get those shoulders set into a position, and believe it or not, because they're so mobile, they can pull us off balance, as can our head. So it's a great idea to start with your shoulders, roll them up, roll them back, drop them down. If I turn to the side, you can see this is kind of my loose, relaxed shoulders, up, around, and back. You should feel a little squeeze between your shoulder blades, and the long, strong muscles of your back, latissimus dorsi, lats for short, should engage. You're spreading your collarbone, lifting your sternum, moving those shoulders out of your ears, and engaging your back. That should automatically have a little bit of a lift feeling from your tummy on up. So if you've got that going on, your neck may feel longer. Again, we're not stiffening anything, we're lengthening. There's an internal bungee cord, so as you roll these shoulders back, imagine carrying 2 jugs of water. Feel that weight. So as your arms are getting weighted down and those shoulders are locked into position, you stretch against this weight, stretch up, and then there's your zip up. And then if I turn sideways, we wouldn't want our head forward unless you have a spinal condition and there's nothing to be done in a quick way. You want to just make sure when those shoulders come back, you slide the head back a little bit. You can move from side to side to make your neck and throat comfortable. But now you are more stacked. Your head stacked, shoulders over the ribs, over the hips, and on down to the feet. So this is a great place to practice balance. Now, if you're comfortable, you could even have hands on a counter or one touching a wall. But if you're comfortable, you might try closing your eyes for a few seconds. Here, don't be surprised if you feel your weight moving slightly forward, back, or to the side. It's just an indication that balance is alive and it changes from moment to moment. What you have on your mind, how long ago you ate, what you ate, how you slept. Just be compassionate with yourself because balance changes multiple times in an hour, let alone in a day. But there's a lot we can do structurally which will lessen the parameters of your balance issue. So as you're here and you're settled into those shoulders down, now it's time to try shifting your weight to just one foot. In ballroom dance, we are rarely on 2 feet at the same time, just often in transferring from one to the other, but we don't hang out here. So if you would, this is my left, I'm going to transfer to my left. And those of you who are familiar with my terminology, you might remember this phrase, to doodle around with your free leg. This way, you can see that you have 100% weight on one leg. Now you don't have to pick it up like I'm doing, you can keep it down here, but just no weight here. Then you can of course shift over, feel the equal distribution. Make sure those shoulders, nothing's changed there. Move to your right, and you can doodle. This lets you know, yep, for sure, I've got the majority of my weight here. If you lift up, then you're sure you've got all of your weight there. And you can take this in stages, and like I said, you can have fingertips to a counter or a wall. I really want you to be patient with yourselves and kind to yourselves through this process. So this is a great activity and exercise that any of us can do, whether or not you're even interested in taking a ballroom dance class. Certainly balance is important as we go through life to stave off falls. If you know, I've got 2 cats there, and if they come running under your feet, you know, you're good. And you're not going to take as many tumbles, hopefully, because you are aware of your balance and how you create it. So balance from the ground up, and we help our body with stacking where we need to feel lifted, where we need to feel dropped, and just creating an awareness of our own body. Then you have posture, which is part of the stacking. If you're balanced, you'll have better posture. If you have good posture, you'll have better balance. So they go hand in hand. So posture, as everything wants to align. Now, if we're talking poise, that's where do we put our body weight on our feet? Most of us, if we're just standing, are going to have our weight in the middle of our feet, and it disperses forward and backwards with the heel, and the arches are like a little bridge. In certain dances, like our Latin dances and our swing dances, we have to have what's called forward poise. So you take your hip bones and move them forward towards your toes. If I lock both my legs, I want to feel like I'm going to fall forward. But don't lock your legs. That's just an exercise to show you that my weight being forward, I can bounce my heels relatively easily. That lets me know I am shifted forward. What do we do in forward poise? Well, we settle the hips. We have a bent leg and a straight leg. If I was doing a swing, a triple time swing, triple steps and a rock step, if I was doing salsa, that poise helps me move through my feet, ball, heel, hip, ball, heel, hip. If I take this straight on from the camera here, you can see that if I'm on split weight, I move weight. For our smooth dances, we don't settle, but in our Latin and our swing, we do. We relax this hip, and because of that, you have a lift up of this hip and a drop of this one. And if I'm going to move weight, it's the ball of my foot, the front part of my foot, is what I would put down. So I'm going to ball, heel, settle, and then I've got a bent leg. And if you practice this action, they're tiny little movements with big effect. We don't manufacture weight change from the torso or from the hips. We release. And with that forward poise, the hip settling will take care of itself. Now, if we're talking smooth dances like waltz, foxtrot, and tango gets a special caveat because if it's American tango, we dance with 2 bent knees. But I'm going to back up and show you in my 4x4 square. You have a box step. Many of us may be familiar with it, but if you're not, we have a forward, side, back, side action, or if you're a follow, back, side, forward, side, back action. So you're literally making a square. But we have the box step in many dances. It's just that we dance the technique differently, and that's what I want to show you. You could practice 4 dances with the box step today. If we're talking waltz, we have the tall, long posture. We do not need forward poise. We're in the middle of our feet. And I'm going to take it from the leader's perspective, which is I'm moving my weight to my right foot. I can doodle around here. In order to move forward, I need to relax this knee a little bit, soften, and push off. I skate the heel, and I arrive on the foot. I reach over here, like railroad tracks. Depending on your level, if you're able to do rise, you push up, and it banks up, and you go ball of foot, roll down. And then you reach back, toe heel, reach over, push up and over, banking. If you can, ball, ball, heel. If you're brand new, or your ankles aren't strong enough, or your balance is a little shaky today, then march it out at first. Forward left, side right, close left. Backward right, side left, close right. So I'm not doing any rise and fall. I'm barely doing any sway, but I'm getting the box step. 6 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You learn that in waltz, we don't collect. If I was to show you a foxtrot box, we also have the same poise, and I go heel, toe, collect, brush in with no weight, small toe, toe, heel, because that's quick. And then I have slow, brush in, quick. We'll come back to foxtrot. Waltz is all slow. 1, 2, 3. So there's no slows and quicks, variances in time. It's all slows. So that's why it's a great one to start with. 1, 2, close 3. 1, 2, close 3. Heel, toe, 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 heel, toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. I'm going to dance this sideways from the lady's perspective. It's the same box, but we start back on our right foot. So we have toe, heel, side, left, toe, toe, heel, right, heel, toe, 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 heel. So this, we reach back from the hip. Here we ice skate forward, side, and close. We have 1, 2, 3. Notice I do not collect my feet. Why would that be? Because of sway. I cannot collect my feet, and I'll face the camera so you can see. If I have 2 railroad tracks, imagine that, and I'm on one, and I need to point and reach to the other, you want to imagine a pendulum. That the bottom of the grandfather clock's pendulum, the pendulum's lower, and then it swings and it goes a little higher, and it comes down and it swings and goes a little higher. It's very fluid, and sway is created at first in the feet. So if you stand wider than shoulder width, just to check this out, and imagine standing in water sideways to a beach, and the incoming tide, you're into your ribs, the incoming tide moves you, the sand under your feet moves towards the beach, and then the outgoing tide moves you back. I'm not creating this from the torso. I'm letting my feet move from what we call inside edge, big toe edge, to flat, to other big toe edge. And this creates a graceful side to side sway. Now when we add rise, which is up to the ball of our foot, and fall, which is coming back down to the ground, then it enhances your sway. So if I'm just starting, I sink into the knee, I reach over here, and I need to transfer my weight. I'm not going to transfer laterally, there's no sway there. This hip's higher because I'm reaching away, my body weight moving away from where this foot is to help myself get up over onto it. So I push over, and I come over here and I land. And here, I've got this lean in my body, and I push over, and you can really learn how to enhance this. You sway away from the reaching foot, and it happens as if someone's got your hip, or you're blowing up a balloon sideways. And when we can come back into one-on-one dance lessons, when we can come back into our group, these are the types of tips and techniques that I really break down in our group classes to help everyone at least conceive of it and start to achieve it. So our waltz box, 1, 2, 3. If you're the lady or the follow, you're starting backward on the right because the leader's coming with you forward. You're both going to the side, and then he's going away and you're going into him. And we won't talk about rotating it, but you certainly can in this space. It rotates counterclockwise. Let's go back to the Foxtrot box. Foxtrot is slows and quicks, and we have box timing here. So we have slow, 2 counts of music, 1, 2, and then quick, quick, fast, fast, 1 count of music each, 3, 4. 1 collect, 2, 3, 4. 1 collect, 2, 3, 4. Toe, heel, toe, toe, heel, heel, toe, 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 heel. Notice this one collects. Sometimes I see people dancing waltz and they're collecting. That's because they're not doing sway. If I'm in waltz and I create sway, I can't reach this foot in here unless I take the sway away. So I let that sway stay, reach, and move on over. In Foxtrot, we don't have sway at first, but we go over a little speed bump here, a little lilt. Back, tiny bit. So it's much smaller. Even if you were to project it and dance over a bit, you'd see a little bit more sway like waltz, but you have to collect here and then let that water move you to the side. Now if we talk rumba, I'm going to dance sideways here and show you that I first have to get forward poise. And then I relax. This is my right leg. And the ball of my foot is what you see first. So I start to move forward, and I've got to stand weight on my left and settle. This right leg is stuck. And then I move it, bend, straighten, and I come in, bend, straighten. I reach back, shift weight, and hold, settling. Over to the side, settle, and in, settle. The forward poise helps this action. So with rumba, you collect your energy, but not your feet. So I collect my energy here, and then move to the side, and then change of weight. I bring the energy with me off that toe, but I hold it for a second and move it to the side. I see a lot of rumba that looks too much like Foxtrot, where people are just mushing on in here, and there's no powerful distinction. With the forward poise, you have this settle, and then at the last minute, you have your quick, quick. You'll notice it's the same timing, slow, quick, quick. Slow and settle, quick, quick. Hold that leg, quick, quick. Ladies, you start here, backward and settle, quick, quick. Forward and settle, quick, quick. So far we have the box step in 3 dances. Waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's very dancey. You're moving forward, side, close, back. You don't stop. You're constantly moving. Waltz is, at least American waltz, not Viennese, is danced slow, but you will feel the work because you're not stopping moving. Foxtrot is kind of, hey, how you doing? It's strolly, slow, and it's kind of peppy and flirty. It's got a nice little attitude to it. It's a fun dance. Waltz is very elegant, beautiful. And rumba, the dance of love, if you're doing it, it's like pulling taffy. That you have this slow and then you release quick, quick, and a slow and quick, quick. You can see each box is distinctly different. Now if we're talking samba, hold on to your hats because samba is national dance of Brazil. We need forward poise, but we have 2 bent knees. And we have this bounce action in the knees. We take a box, and I need you to imagine a speed bump ahead of you that you have to go up and over, and a speed bump behind you that you have to go up and over, and a speed bump to your right that you have to go up and over, and of course to your left that you have to go up and over. So if I'm standing on my right with 2 bent knees, I first need to spring up and over with a little kangaroo. I need to go up, over, down, and then a ball change. Up, over, down. This is our basic ball change. You can see it's not a box yet, but it's the forward and back basic. Up, over, down, the ball change weight. Up, over, down, the ball change weight. And every time you've got this little springy ball or trampoline down and up with your knees. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You can see I'm going up, over, and back, over that speed bump, up, over, and front, over that speed bump. To make this a box, I have to create a little sway. And where do I put it? So I go up, over, and down. Leaders starting forward left, ladies starting forward back for the follows. Backward step. So I have up, over, down. While I'm here, I create this little sway, and I point the ball and move to the side. Up, over, down, creating that sway, and move to the side. If I do this to the camera, you're able to see these 2 bent knees. Speed bump, sway over. Speed bump, sway over. Speed bump, sway over. Speed bump, sway over. You can see that's completely different than your rumba box and your foxtrot and your waltz box. For the ladies, you're in that compression, fancy way of saying bent knees. If the man is just swinging forward and back in the basic, there's no sway, so you don't have the urge to go side to side. It's more like a swing set. So you feel him make you lift lower. He comes here into that space, and then he goes away. And you're just following him on that little bouncy swing set. And if he does the box, when you land, you're going to feel this left side stretched and up, over. But he's going to switch this way, up, over. And this takes some getting used to. Of all the boxes we're doing, Samba's the hardest. But I wanted to come and say, in 4x4 space, we can do merengue. We can do some East Coast swing, or double time swing, single time swing. We can do some shag. We can do the basic steps in waltz, foxtrot, even some tango closes, Argentine tango, merengue, salsa, even tiny cha-cha bits. So there's a lot that we can do. And I just wanted to come and say, I'm with you in dancing at home at this point, and I hope to see you when we can resume the classes. In the meantime, let me know if you like this format. I've got more up my sleeve to share with you. Thank you very much. Stay healthy, everybody. I'll see you soon.